Welcome to the Somewhat Frank podcast, hosted by me, Frank Gruber, and joined by my friends and colleagues, Jen Consalvo and John Guidos. This podcast explores the latest trends and advancements in technology and business, including emerging startups and how they shape today while looking forward towards the future. We also enjoy testing new gadgets and products and sharing our findings too, along with our favorite pop culture picks like music, books, and what we're streaming. This podcast is produced in collaboration with our company, Established. Ready to dive in? Time to be somewhat frank. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Somewhat Frank. I'm Frank Gruber, your host. I'm here today joined by Johnny Goodtimes Guidos, Jen, don't call her Jenny, or Consalvo, and Simon, Triumvirate. Triumvirate? Did I say that right? Triumvirate. Triumvirate. Kahan.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining, everybody. Today, we are excited to be back, and we're going to go around the horn quickly. It's post-Halloween. You know, we see it in our rearview mirror, but it was a good time. We didn't get to chat about it since the last pod, so we thought we'd quickly go through what everyone's been up to with the Halloween season, because I know it's a fun one. And John, do you want to go first?
Yeah, just kind of enjoying the hangover from Halloween, enjoying all of the things fall. There's a lot of nephew sports going on right now, so just been kind of enjoying the new house and hanging out mostly for the most part. Don't have any trips coming up anytime soon. Need to figure something out for the winter time, maybe down to Florida for a bit. But other than that, just been laying low.
Great. Trips this time of year, we're still in a government shutdown at the time of this recording, and it's starting to impact travel. So I don't really feel like I'd want to go on a trip right now. We're seeing like long wait times at airports and things. So it's a little tricky. I know I had some family members flying this week, and I was like, thankfully it went smoothly. But yeah, you're hearing some pretty bad stories about long wait times, things like that. And might close some airspace, so we'll see what happens. All right, Jen, what's up? What are you up to?
Let's see. I'm actually kind of glad. I felt like Halloween lasted a long time. I think those of us with kids, it just sort of stretches out longer. There's like kid parties and then like the actual trick-or-treating, and that has like multiple steps now. So, but it was fun. We had great weather. The leaves are almost all fallen. So I feel like we're sort of in the tail end of our fall experience. But overall, it's been a really beautiful time outside, except for a few rain and heavy windstorms, but for the most part, really lovely.
Yeah, definitely. It does. It feels like it's getting to that almost time to get cold situation. So it's like, it's like that they're going to turn that switch on any minute. So yeah, getting ready for that. All right, Simon, what do I do?
I stepped outside to go for a quick run this morning, and it was freezing. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're expecting snow next Tuesday, so get ready for it. It's coming your way.
It's snowing in the mountains here in Maine for sure. They're making snow in the mornings and night because it's like 30 degrees, but they're actually getting a little bit of snow too. So actually, right where you were when you came out this way, John, it snowed there like last week, like naturally, and pretty big time. So yeah, White Mountains are getting snow. Simon, what about you?
Hi everybody, I'm doing well. I went as Harry Potter for Halloween, had a good time. Two things to note. One, and this is unrelated, but Reddit has been suggesting I join r/bald lately, like their bald subreddit. And I don't know how I'm going bald. They actually look pretty good in there, so I it gives me hope. And then number two is I was looking around New York this morning, and I realized, you know how there's a bunch of pigeons. My question is, where do all the dead pigeons go? Like, you see thousands of pigeons everywhere you are. You never see like bodies of pigeons. So yeah, things are going well over here in New York.
I hate to break it to you, but I've seen dead pigeons. It's pretty disgusting, actually.
Where are they all? There's like thousands of them. You'd expect
right. That brings up a good question, Simon. So like, are they like some animals where if they know they're going to die, they go off somewhere by themselves? So like if you poked your head into certain like caves in Central Park or something, you would discover like mounds of dead fowl.
I've seen them just in the streets. I don't know. I definitely have seen them just on the streets or on the rooftops. Like I don't know.
Maybe rooftops.
I saw. I mean, this is kind of off topic, but I saw this video of, I guess it was in Germany, of a rat
eating a bat.
I think, eating the bat, catching a bat in midair. Did you guys see that?
Crazy.
It made me think of this because I'm like, well, maybe the rats eat them. I know that sounds gross, but it's like Circle of Life, the whole thing. So maybe, I don't know.
Which caught which?
A rat caught a bat.
The rat caught the bat.
A rat was like leaning over an
like
edge.
A kid's story.
Well, a rat. Like, no, we're all getting the alliteration. Yeah. So it rhymes. It was leaning on this like ledge and like literally like waiting, and just like grabbed it and like out of midair. So yeah, I guess that's something they do apparently.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So anyway, that's a very Halloweeny story as well. The Rat and the Bat. It's a children's book. Maybe we should write that one. All right, so moving along here for Halloween. And sorry, I mean, are you getting referred on the bald thing because you go there? Is that what it's in your
No,
history, or you?
I think
are
the
you-
insinuation is that like it kind of picks up on my anxiety about my thinning hair, and it
That's tracking you.
indicates a subreddit I should join. And even saying it makes me kind of sad.
Well,
So
your hair looks great. It looks great, so don't worry about it.
yours looks great too.
All right, so moving along here, Halloween wise, I don't know if you guys heard, but the word of the year is 6-7, and so this year for Halloween I went as 6-7 actually. Just got a very simple costume, but then I decided last minute to throw on my my I guess skeleton costume as well. It's kind of spooky 6-7, and just creeped around all Halloween, and got a tremendous amount of pretty much every little kid that I passed was like 6-7 every single time. Literally my shoulders and arms were tired at the end because I'd done that like 1,000 times in like 2 hours or 3 hours. It's like, are you kidding me? But it's pretty fun. Thought it was really fun. And I guess for those not familiar about the viral slang term, I guess that's kind of turned into a nonsensical thing. It means so or maybe this or maybe that, maybe this or maybe that, but that's not how it started. It started with a rap song or something, and a basketball player that was 6'7". It's got a kind of weird backstory, but long story short, it's definitely jumped the shark at this point, and I think I'm hoping that Halloween killed it, and we don't have to talk about it anymore. So we'll see. I don't know. So yeah, so that's what I was. It was fun. Good times at Halloween, and that I've been kind of toying around with. Are you guys on Substack? You guys remember Substack?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've never been like into it. I was big into like Tumblr and all these different apps forever, but I never really got into Substack. I was writing a tiny letter. How you guys are familiar with tiny letter, but it was a kind of fun little simple like newsletter thing that I used for a while. Well, they got rid of it. It got acquired, I think, or pulled into MailChimp, and so it no longer exists. And they just killed my whole like tiny letter. It was really sad, actually. I was writing these little tiny letters to people. People would write me back. Meaning tiny letters. It was like an all just text email that I would send out like a couple times a month. And it was great because I'd get like a lot of great responses and catch up with people. It felt really engaging to like catch up with people that way in more of like an email format. And then they killed it. So it went away. It was really sad. So it took me a long time to lick my wounds and come back to the idea that maybe I should write a tiny letter again, but not call it that. So I just finally like joined Substack. I've got a Substack now for Frank Gruber, and I'm going to start writing some things over there about entrepreneurship and investing and innovation and some of the projects we're working on at Established and Established Ventures and Start of the Year Program Awards, things like that. But and I also branched off and created my own like creative space for my upcoming music stuff that's coming out. So I've got a Frank Gruber music.substack as well. So I'm like going deep into Substack all of a sudden. I don't know why. But on the music side, I've got a track coming out in about a month. So I definitely want folks to know where to get updates and stories and behind the scenes kind of stuff. So I guess that's the driver there. But yeah, it's been kind of fun. I didn't realize it was so like, there's like really like some of our connections from like DC and stuff. They are avid Substackers.
Oh yeah. I don't know. One day I took a look at my inbox and realized that I was getting probably dozens of emails. I don't know if there were like some people that I subscribed to before that transferred it to their new Substacks, or if I subscribed to one and then all of a sudden I was receiving a bunch of others. But I get a lot of email from Substack, and they're interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, they have an app now too, so you can like, it's turned a little bit more into like I feel like every app has turned into that place where you just share share video and content, different kinds of content. But it started as like just a newsletter app, right? And like almost like tiny letter. So, but it's definitely converged into that more, I guess, multi-faceted platform as they have an app and everything too. So anyway, that's I've been you can get lost over there. So,
For sure.
So anyway, pull me out of Substack. I've been in there too long. I lost like 3 hours today. No, but yeah, that's what it is kind of like that, a rabbit hole. So anyway, yeah, so check those out if you're interested in some more Substacks to follow, I guess. All right, so let's dive in. We've got a lot to talk about. And I don't know, I've got a little puppy over here. Can you hear this little puppy? It's chewing, making all sorts of noise. I don't know if my microphone is allowing it to block out, but little Mazzy Star here is really into chewing her bones and stuff. And she is in her crate, like doing that right now. So hopefully you don't hear the little little biting sounds. It's not me. I'm not making those sounds. All right, so let's jump in. First one is all about a new kind of. Well, we've talked about it before, actually. Remember the company that's making this robot called Neo? It was basically a personalized robot. And so the pre-orders are now open for this personalized robot. And it kind of hit with about 2 weeks ago, maybe. It was kind of a big push on the media side because they're accepting pre-orders, and they're $20,000 to purchase. And it talks and walks and does household tasks in a very robot-y way that it kind of looks like a human, but it's more like a robot. And yeah, you can purchase it for like $500 a month, I guess, on a subscription, or $20,000. And they're expected to come out in 2026. And then right behind that, Elon Musk and his Tesla's Optimus robot is closely behind. A little bit more expensive, 20 to 30K, but more for like industrial deployments and, not necessarily for home use as much, but I'm sure people are going to buy them for home use. And yeah, targeting 2026 as well, but maybe later in the year a little bit. But yeah, the humanoid robots are coming. We've waited a long time for the Jetsons, where you've got the ability to have your Jetson vacuuming for you or whatever. So looks like we're going to be looking at that in 2026 is literally the year. So pretty exciting. Would you guys pay $4.99 a month for a robot that does that kind of stuff? Anybody? Anyone?
So I looked into this, and I believe they claim a lot of the tasks are automated, but I think they're sort of using it to beta test. So if there's something that it doesn't know how to do, so anything beyond like laundry and dishes, I believe you have to hire one of the employees, like humans, to control it and then teach it. So you're sort of letting someone in Palo Alto like control a robot
in your house.
Yeah. And also, like, it would probably be cheaper to hire someone to clean your house, cheaper than what, $500 a month or whatever the subscription price is.
I don't know. We recently had a cleaning that was $600, which I don't even know how that's.
I almost fell off my chair because we've had our house cleaned and it's never cost that. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if it's inflation or what, but someone came, and afterwards I was expecting like $250, $300, $600 for basic cleaning.
All right, we'll get you guys a Neo.
Yeah, maybe we need Neo. It'd be cheaper.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it sounds cool, but I think there's a lot to work to do because I know a human has to control it for a good portion of the tasks.
That is interesting. I didn't realize that. That's yeah. I mean, it makes sense as they train the models, but yeah, it's a little intrusive, right? Like to have you've got. I mean, it already is intrusive to have a robot, I think, in your house a little bit, right? And you don't know where all that data is going. That's like already looking at things or whatever. But
and it's that camera that literally, as Simon just said, someone in Palo Alto can just
on you.
Go right in and. I mean, there's definitely, I know they're really focused on privacy, but boy, it's just such a leap of faith.
Yeah, sure is. What chore would you have this robot do first? Laundry folding?
Take the compost out.
The chores.
All the chores. I don't know. We generally have a big pile of laundry that we're like, oh, we should do that. We should fold that. So maybe laundry folding would be a good one, right to start.
Literally, this robot would walk behind our child and just
pick up.
And just pick up and have like a basket and just be throwing everything in. And then the toughest thing, and I would challenge anyone in Palo Alto to figure this out, to go through that basket and figure out where everything goes. Because all of a sudden, at the end of the day, you have a basket of stuff that you're like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
Where does it go? It goes nowhere.
It's a rhyme or reason problem. Yeah. It's just like, one sock and one doll and one pencil, and then there's like a book, and then where does that all? Those don't all go to a plate. Like those don't all go to the same place. That's a really difficult.
16 new parts of pencils and stickers and God knows. Yeah. So for me, definitely tidying up would be like top of the laundry, tidying up, top of the list. Dishes, yeah, that's fine. Cooking, huge. Like if this thing could truly cook, I think I would have it working every single day of the week.
Yeah. I've got a good cooking update for you later on. We can talk about. I'm excited about this one. So we'll have to. If you're listening to this podcast, definitely listen to the end. We're going to talk about
something else that could make this more economical is I don't know what they allow or how they would be able to manage this, but could you have it be like multi-household? So, like my parents live right down the road.
It walks next door.
Robot share, right? So, like 3 days a week, it's at my parents' house, helping them with tasks, cleaning the house, doing various things. The other 4 days of the week, it's at our house because, it doesn't necessarily have to be so busy every single day in one home. And then think about what if our $600 cleaner just decides to buy a bunch of these and
Well,
just unleash them in people's homes. That's
I'm just
interesting.
envisioning like, hello, this is Bob. Can you come pick me up? I'm at at your neighbor's house doing laundry. I need a ride. You know, like seriously, like you're gonna go pick the robot up, or is it gonna walk down? Is it gonna literally be a bunch of robots walking down the street miles to get to the next location?
It's gonna sit in the back seat with a seatbelt, and it's just going.
Yeah.
Actually, can you teach it to drive?
Ooh, danger. Yeah. Oh boy. Anyway, lots of fun thinking about it for sure. But yeah, that's crazy.
John, would you get one?
No, I think that they need to still work the kinks out a little bit. Who do you complain to if they don't do a perfect job? I don't know. I think they're a little too expensive as well. So for those like menial tasks, like doing dishes or cooking or doing laundry, I'm pretty proficient at those things. So I'm good for right now.
Yeah. I for one look forward to all the rich people like beta testing it for me.
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be all over Instagram too. My robots here doing this thing. Watch this. It's going to
They're
be.
going to be doing dumb things.
And it's just like my iPhone where I don't upgrade until years later. So I feel like I'm jumping into the future. And I'm not going to get a robot until I'm like 50. So they're going to be all worked out by then. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. All right. So in a go ahead.
So one other thing there, I do feel like the people who probably need it most are it's out of their financial league. Like I feel like people who need it most, who like, have multiple jobs, have multiple kids, their homes are, they could probably use the most domestic help. That would be interesting. Like, is there some kind of model, again, maybe like multi-household sharing, something that would bring that technology to people who need it most? That's right.
Yeah. I mean, $20,000. That's how much it costs.
In the future,
gotta work on that model.
new models, new financial models. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So in a related twist, Alan Hamill, I don't know if you guys know this. Do you know who Alan Hamill is? He's the husband of Suzanne Summers, who passed away a few years ago. He's worked with a couple different robotic companies. Looks like it's called Realbotics Corp and Hollow AI to create an AI robotic version of his unfortunately deceased wife. And it's basically trained her on her 27 books that she wrote and hundreds of interviews. It mimics her voice, her mannerisms, her memory. And it cost, they don't really know. It's not been just actually shared out in the world how much it costs. But custom models, if you go to their website, Realbotics, custom models cost between $10,000 and $175,000. Depending on the detail and the AI integration. And obviously this was the whole purpose of this was to preserve her legacy and let fans and family interact with this digital version of hers. Pretty interesting to see that kind of come to fruition. I'm assuming more of that kind of stuff was going to happen with these types of robots. So yeah, definitely. I don't know. Do you think it's kind of like something do you think it's good, or where do you find this falling on the spectrum?
There's an exact Black Mirror episode about this and it does not end well. So I probably wouldn't do it because I think the main character was pretty sad at the end of the whole episode.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, it sounds pretty sad to me as well. I mean, it can maybe provide comfort to some people that miss their loved ones, but I don't know. I think it's a little bit sad, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it's just entering this kind of blend of humanoid / living forever, right? You got this now tribute to somebody, so it's an interesting twist for sure.
Well, and speaking psychologically, does it keep people living in the past? Like how do you move on, live in the present, think about the future when you've literally taken, again, someone who's no longer with us and brought them back into your life? Like, what does that do to you? So yeah, I agree with Simon and John. It's a little sad, and for me, that's what I think about. Like, how do you move on?
Right. Yeah, definitely. All right, we'll keep moving on here ourselves here. So, speaking of technology and how it can improve lives and maybe improve those that are whether it be aging or just in general with health. We're going to be working with we're working with the CTA Foundation again this year for their CTA Foundation pitch, which is coming up it'll be in January of 2026. This year, the foundation pitch is presented by the X50 again. And if you're a startup and you're developing technology that helps people with all ages abilities live more independently, from assistive devices to AI health tools, to mobility and smart home innovations. You definitely want to apply for this opportunity. It's a great opportunity to get in front of, like it's about usually like 300 or so folks that are out at the actual pitch event watching, and they could be innovators, they could be investors. There's a lot of media, a lot of other folks that could be from bigger companies that could be helpful in your journey, your startups. Like I said, Establish is once again producing this competition in partnership with the CTA Foundation. And last year I actually got a chance to MC it, which is really exciting. It was highlighted my career. It was awesome to be able to because I'm following the footsteps of people like Joe Montana and Damon John, who's from Shark Tank and Fubu. Great. They've had some great MCs, so I was really thrilled to be a part of it. So this year we're going to bring back somebody different to MC, and it should be a great opportunity for startups. If you're a startup and you're listening and you want or know somebody that is that could fit that criteria, the applications are open right now. If you go to the website for CTA Foundation, or you can go to our short code with st.us CTAF pitch 26. The applications are due November 17th. The pitch competition is actually taking place on the 7th of January in the afternoon. So it's all on the website and you can learn more about it. So yeah, that's coming up and very exciting. Looking forward to the great companies that have come through. We've seen really good ones over the course of the last several years as we worked with them. All right. And it's in Vegas. So Vegas in January. All right. Enough of that. Johnny, what do you got? I think I'm going to like this.
Frank, this is actually more your speed than mine because I'm not a big fan of mushrooms, funguses, and spores, as you know. But I did read an article lately that researchers have built a working computer memory component using mycelium, which is the root-like network of the shiitake mushroom, to store memory from computers. So they're actually using, what do you want to call it? Like parts of the shiitake mushroom can now be used in computers. So it's a sustainable material. Pretty interesting story, I thought. It's a little bit slower, but it has pretty high. All the testing that they've been doing, it's been rating pretty high, 90% accuracy for a fungal device, which is pretty good. So I found that pretty interesting.
That is awesome. Go mushrooms, magic mushrooms. That's awesome. So I'm curious now about, is it something that's going to degrade? Like, how do they maintain that fiber? Because that's like an organic fiber, like, is this something that's like legitimately going to tackle the problems and things that, like there's some resource issues with creating these chips and stuff, that we're always hearing about. So curious if it's something that they're really diving into from that perspective as well.
Yeah, I read the whole article, and to be quite honest with you, it was a little bit out of my my range of understanding of things. But yeah, I don't fully understand how it all works, but I do know that they've been able to make memory components out of mushrooms, which is, but all of those concerns you have I think that I would agree with. It sounds like this is the first footstep in the direction of being able to use some of these.
I mean, you could grow your computer hardware, which is pretty unique situation, right? Like technically we were using things that were kind of grown on Earth, like metals and things like that come through the Earth, but like, yeah, that's wild. That's really cool. So I can see it being helpful in certain types of computing devices, right? That you want to be eventually like disposable. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is that they're sustainable, and there's probably a cost benefit as well if they are able to do it right. Because I know that, cobalt and those sorts of things that they use for batteries and other components are pretty expensive, and they're not as sustainable, and they're pretty dirty for the earth and for our atmosphere and things like that. So I don't know. It'd be fascinating to see which direction it goes.
That is really, great. Well, yeah, I love that. I think it's great. Hopefully they can figure out a way to make it useful and helpful for these different types of hardware products that might be able to leverage that ability to be disposable, I guess.
It also one of the things it made me think of was how they're currently being used in nature by actual mushrooms. Like there's probably some sort of, being utilized by the plant itself currently that we don't fully understand yet. If it's able to store memory on a computer, it's probably crazy what it's able to do out in nature right now as well.
Well, they actually
thought about that,
right? Don't they have a language? I'm pretty sure that they've read that they have a language between them, and they talk to each other.
Fungi?
Yeah, I've heard that as well, but I don't fully understand it.
Wait, John, why don't you like spores, fungi, and polyps or whatever?
It's because to me, it's like everything is, all those things generally grow off of things that are decomposing. And I just don't like the flavor. I don't like the texture. I just think they're kind of gross. So I've never been a mushroom guy. I just can't do it. Like why, things that, we grow these on poop underground and then we eat them. I'm not in that. I'm not in that world. We'll call it.
Wait, is that what truffles are? No. Are truffles fungus?
Truffles are mushrooms. Yeah.
Yeah, truffles
Sure.
Knew it.
are part
Nailed
of the family.
Yeah, they have a fungal language. They use electrical impulse. They don't have brains or anything like that, right? They're not that complex, but they do have this ability to communicate through their impulses.
They generally grow on dead animals in the forest, and if you eat the wrong ones, you might die. It sounds like a good sounds like a really good thing to try if you want to.
Well, I've got a mushroom guy at the farmer's market, and he knows which ones to serve up, and he's never steered me wrong, so that's good. But I also just had this thought when, Frankie, you were talking about the language, and we were talking about storage. Like, what if this, like, what is it, the mycelium network, right, across the Earth? What if it was actually, like, Earth's data repository? Right, like it's actually the fungus network, keeping track of everything across the Earth. That is fascinating. This is a new book. This is
the historians of the Earth are really mushrooms. They're just like,
yes, and you could just tap into it somehow. I think there's something to this.
Yep,
cool thought. I like that. That belongs on Reddit.
The Wood Wide Web.
Starting a Substack on that.
The Wood Wide Web of mushrooms. We're coming up with stuff today. All right. I love the energy here. I'm sorry that you don't like mushrooms, John, but I appreciate you bringing that to the table. I love it. All right. Moving on, Jen. What do you got?
Yeah. So story, Fast Company covered out of Arlington, Virginia. So a company called Area to Farms uses modular indoor farming technology to turn underutilized buildings into vertical farms. So they're packing rack-based systems into 3,000 square foot spaces. So imagine, especially since 2020, right? There's so many vacant buildings or parts of buildings that could now be repurposed to grow food. So the company says it wants to build farms within 10 miles of 90% of the U.S. population and is planning to open 10 new sites in 2026, including in Philly, Austin, Atlanta, South Florida, etc. And so there are lots of vacant buildings or, with low occupancy rates that are looking for new adaptive ways to use the space. And so this could be it, and helping with our food supply. So farm coming to your city.
I love that, Jen. And also because in New York and where I live, there's like a huge food desert for healthy food. And so bringing it closer to areas in which people are kind of forced to eat fast food and stuff would be awesome. It's like a cheap, authentic sweet green.
Yeah. I mean, imagine different buildings growing different things, right? So you go to this block and like at the base of the building, there's a little market where they just picked everything on the floors above. And now you can like go pick up your tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, and peppers.
That's really pretty interesting.
Fresh food on every corner.
I love it.
Yeah, I love that. That's really cool. Yeah, and that's actually a company out of Virginia, D.C. area. It's a guy that's, I know the founder of that company is a part of a group I'm in D.C. called Mindshare. So excited for their growth. And moving along here, Simon. Oh, go ahead, John. Go ahead, Simon. Jump in.
Yeah. So my story this week, it involves a dog and Tom Brady. So a couple of weeks ago, Tom Brady, former greatest quarterback of all time for the Patriots, revealed that his beloved dog Fluffy, which not a very creative name, actually has a genetically identical clone. So he worked with a cloning service that takes the DNA from your pet, preserves it, and then use a surrogate animal to carry the embryo. The result is you get the same dog genetically. But this ties in to a company we've talked about before, which is Colossal Biosciences. So he's working with Colossal Biosciences to clone his dog. And again, as we mentioned before, Colossal Biosciences' whole pitch is that if they could revive lost species or clone other animals, they could help restore ecosystems. And they're thinking big picture, like returning mammoths to the Arctic to slow permafrost melt. But essentially, I wanted to focus on this because it's really interesting how available this technology is now. I think 10 years ago, it was very sci-fi. It was not available to the general public. But to clone your cat, these days, it costs around $25,000. Clone your dog, it's $50,000. Not sure how they did that math. And then you can add on DNA storage for future clones for an extra fee. But I just found it very interesting because it's like Tom Brady cloned his dog. So he has the genetics of his old dog, but it's not actually his old dog. And there's like kind of a sadness to it a little bit. And similar to how we were talking with Frank's topic, where it's a little sad, some of these creating AI holograms of past loved ones and stuff. And I think we're in an interesting spot with this technology. So like right now it's expensive. Celebrities do it. It's a luxury curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
And early adopters, they show it off. And then eventually the tech improves, the cost drops, and it becomes way more normalized. So I think we'll start seeing that. I think we'll start seeing people clone their loved ones, their pets. We'll see how it goes. I think there's an air of sadness to the whole thing, but he must have really loved Fluffy.
Was her name? I thought it was Lua.
Because
I was actually
it's Fluffy.
Oh, let's double check that because I think it was LUA. I was literally going to bring this up as our final thought and talk about it. So I was ready.
Wait, how many dogs is he cloning? Is he cloning more than one dog?
I just need to figure out because it revealed that his family dog now is named Junie, and it was a clone of their late dog Lua, LUA. So double check that. I don't know. It's been all over the news. I saw it, and $50,000 took like 3 to 12 months to do this. And there's a couple different providers you can go through. One in the U.S. Via Gen, and then there's one in Korea and one in China. So there's actual multiple sources to be able to do this. But obviously, you got to remember, it's just the DNA, not the personality.
Yeah, like what if the dog like kind of sucks? Then it's sort of bringing pain.
And it looks exactly like your other dog.
Yeah, and then
I had this thought. So we recently lost our little Wolfgang, and Wolfgang, like we loved that dog. Yet. Wolfgang had a serious mean streak and literally could bite your finger off. So, and he was very unique, right? Like he was a mix of different dog types. So you can't just go up and order another, he wasn't a purebred anything. So you can't just order another Wolfgang. And he was the cutest little thing ever. So I could totally imagine wanting to clone him, but I would want the upgrade. Like I need some assurance that he's not going to be the little biter that he was. Like he has to be gentle. And to your point, Simon, about the price difference between cats and dogs, I gotta think that $25,000 extra is for the additional personality. It's gotta be.
Yeah, right. Like I'm trying to think of what would make something double the price if it's bigger, maybe, but not in every case.
Maybe. Wolfgang was the size of a cat, so maybe it's based on size. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, it is kind of wild. Wolfie, if he got a hold of you, he could really get you. But he wasn't a big dog, so it wasn't like a huge dog that could hurt you. Just little teeth, just to set the record straight. So I think it's interesting that we're going down this route, like you mentioned, and families are going to start doing this potentially as the price goes down. One thing I also noticed, because I was doing some research on this, it's a little more like uplifting, I guess, because we were talking about like reproducing the old. Well, you can actually go out there and adopt a new. There's a lot of sheltered animals out there that, shelters, have hit their highest level since 2018. So, you could do that as well and find another fresh new pet that's not, because you're basically getting that anyway. It just looks like your old dog, right? Is that what you kind of think? What happens with this at the end of the day? Yeah. So anyway, maybe like look for something new and save their life. That could be another way to do it. I would like to make a
quick interjection. I'm ashamed to admit, and it goes against my journalistic values, that I did get the name of the dog wrong. It's not Fluffy. I feel like
was it Lua?
It was.
Okay.
So
Fluffy's a fun name too. Maybe that's their nickname.
Yeah.
He's got a dog named Fluffy. Oh, it's okay.
Whatever.
It might have been misreported because this was sent. It was out. I mean, it was out there a lot. This article. I mean, this news about Tom Brady's dog. Which makes me wonder: is he tied in with that company in some way? Via Gen. It's a side hustle. Anyway, all right. So let's talk about what we're testing. And then we'll jump into watching, reading, listening. So, has anybody been testing anything, or want me to jump in? All right, I've been saving it. This is so like old school, not like super technical, but also very fun. We got a new crock pot, and it's very exciting in our household. I got this crock pot. It's not like anything fancy. It's just like a regular crock pot, and we have been using it like crazy. Making enchiladas and breakfast casseroles and salmon and beef stroganoff and all sorts of things, and it fills the house with some great, amazing smells all day. And then dinner's ready when you are at the end of the day. So it's kind of like having a robot that makes you food in some ways. Just got to do a little prep to begin with. So it's definitely slow cooker season out here. And we used to have one that broke a long time ago and we never replaced it. So
Because we overused it.
Because we use it every day for every meal. I put cereal in there.
Apparently.
I put cereal in there, put it on low, cook it all day, like that kind of thing. So just kidding, of course. But any of you all ever experiment with this? Simon, you look like a slow cooker.
Well, I'm working on cooking in general as part of my become a big ball of vein. But I haven't worked on the crock pot. I do have this way of making salmon where you make the rice and then you cut the salmon into raw things of salmon and then you put it in the rice bowl cooker thing and you let it sit there for like an hour. And it's great so your hands don't have to I don't like when my hands get all gross. But I digress. No, I have not used a crock pot.
It might be easy. It's just an easy thing. You just throw everything in. It's kind of similar to what you just said. You just put everything in there, don't have to touch it, and it just does it.
Can I put black beans in there? I have like an surplus of black back.
Yeah. We made enchiladas the other day. It was basically you put everything in there, including the beans, and it comes out as an enchilada.
Not wrapped.
Yeah, just like that?
Yeah, pretty much. Put everything in there, and then it's just done. It's like a magic machine. Anyway, that's what I've been testing out. You guys have been testing anything? Obviously, I was testing Substack. We talked about that already. Anybody else testing anything else? No? All right.
We have a new Sonos system, a surround sound system in our new house that we just had installed. It's pretty amazing.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I was trying to think about it because you test a lot of stuff that's new, Frank, and I don't know. I always feel bad or like I'm not testing enough stuff, but yeah, we do have a new Sonos system that's really pretty. I mean, it sounds like you're in a movie theater when you're watching movies and stuff.
What's the most interesting thing about it that you like the most?
I mean, we watched parts of the new Maverick, the Top Gun 2 movie, and it was like blowing your socks off. It was really like you were in the movie theater. So, and then you can also put it on so you can just listen to music and throughout the house. It's synced up with Amazon Music, so you can put on a playlist or somebody that you like. You can just say like play Zach Bryan music or play Noah Kahan music, and it just plays throughout your house all day, which is really nice.
Great. That's really cool.
Shout out to Noah Kahan there, Simon. Sorry, I should have mentioned him before Zach Bryan.
Okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Fine.
All right. All right. So what have anybody else testing it? Should we go jump on to watching, listening, reading, learning?
I've tested it before, but I went back again this week. I hadn't done it in a long time, but I did a sound bath.
Sound. Good tie-in.
You just bathe in the sounds, and it is so amazing and so relaxing, and I highly recommend it. And I think there's also something about doing it this time of year with the change in seasons. And I did it at there was one at the local university. And so I was surrounded by students, and that just made it even funnier, more enjoyable. So I loved it. It was great.
Fantastic. Good tie-in too, right? We're talking about sound. Jump right into sound bath. All right. So, let's go to watching, listening, reading. I've been watching actually a couple things. So, but The Diplomat on Netflix, you ever watch this show? The Diplomat with Kerry Russell. It's like a political drama. It's got good writing and tension, and it's a good like unwind kind of situation. Well, it's a little bit tense sometimes, but also ends up being all good. So been watching that one. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm watching The Chair Company, Tim Robinson's HBO show. It's great. It's really, really cool. He does I Think You Should Leave. And it's like a really unique sort of like awkward type of humor, but I recommend it. Highly recommend.
Cool. Anybody else? Because I've got a podcast I want to promote or share.
I'm happy that I'm fully caught up on the morning show, which the latest episode was just so
Don't
perfect.
spoil it.
So
no spoilers.
No, of course not. No spoilers. It's so good. So good.
Oh.
They managed to bring in so many different themes into every season, and the acting is just superb.
And Only Murders in the Building's over too, right? So they're going to be back for season 6. It looks like that was a good wrap. It's getting kind of funny though. It's getting kind of a little goofy. I guess it was always goofy-ish, but I don't know. Season 6 is what it is now, right? But I kind of fumbled onto this podcast around Halloween called 1440 Explorers. I'm a very big fan of 1440 newsletter. If you haven't seen it, it's like a great newsletter about everything that's happening. It comes in your inbox every day and tells you like all the things that are happening in the world. It's based out of Chicago. It's a company. So, but they've got a new podcast called 1440 Explorers, and there was an episode about ghosts, and so they kind of go deep into different topics. And I know, Johnny, you would like it, actually. It's a topic was ghosts, and they kind of go behind the scenes about what you're seeing when you see ghosts and things like that. So it is a little spooky, but really cool how they dive into these different topics and go deep. So worth a listen if you're looking for something to listen to on that cool system you've got.
I will do. That sounds right up my alley.
Definitely. All right. And I was going to leave on a high note talking about pet adoptions and things, but we're going to audible in true Tom Brady fashion. And I guess we're going to talk about, it is gratitude season again. Not that it isn't gratitude season all the time, but Thanksgiving time frame generally brings a lot more thanks in the world, and people focus a little more on gratitude in the holiday season as well. But did you know that people that practice gratitude regularly sleep better, handle stress better, they feel happier overall? Did you all know that?
No, but I'm curious about the difference between gratitude and guilt.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel good. I won't get into it, but continue.
I'd love to hear it. What do you mean? Gratitude.
Well, I don't
I
know.
would like the relationship between the two.
Well, yeah, because I'm very grateful all the time, but then sometimes it mixes between like guilt because of how grateful I am. I'm like, I feel guilty because I'm not in a worse position. So it's kind of turning into a therapy session here, but just something to think about.
It's okay to be grateful, I guess is the point. And basically there is science behind it, that it actually, by saying the things you're grateful for, it does change your mental perspective of how you perceive the world, right? And can be uplifting if you're maybe not having a great day.
And Simon, I would think of it almost as if it's true gratitude, if you allow yourself to really to feel it, not just say I'm so grateful that I get to go on this trip, or that I have this house or this food or whatever, this opportunity. If you actually really feel it, it's sort of, there's no more room for the guilt because of the mere fact that you are grateful for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you just feel guilty about it, then that doesn't leave room for the gratitude. So I don't know. I feel like that's the relationship. If you can then sink into it, if you're feeling guilt about something, maybe sink into the feeling of but I'm so grateful for it. And then hopefully that would dissipate the guilt.
I like that. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
It literally rewires your brain if you practice it regularly, or maybe even not so regularly, but even just writing down a thing that you're thankful for, or a thing that you're grateful for, it actually can help you kind of realize maybe it's not so bad, or maybe this situation's not so bad, or maybe it's not so bad that it's dark at, Jen's got the
I got my little daily gratitude.
Maybe it's not so bad as it's dark at 4:00 now. Right? Because of the time change or whatever. It does actually help in some ways, and there's been actual studies around it. So it only takes 10 seconds. You can think about 5 things you're grateful for today, or just start with one. But the simple ones are pretty easy, and then you'll probably get the hang of it. But anyway, that's what we're gonna leave on a high note. Be thankful. Being thankful does help you if you are feeling the slump from post Halloween as we get into that darker season and roll into the holidays here. So hopefully it helps you all. Thank you all for listening, team, for being here today. And I'm thankful for all of you. So thank you for being here. And we'll be back again with another episode. Stay somewhat frank. Thanks for listening to the Somewhat Frank podcast. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe and leave us a review. We love the feedback and are grateful to have you as a listener. Have a great day.